What a beautiful morning. This weekend I brought you up to a dispersed campsite. We're in the Chippewa National Forest just west of Walker, Minnesota, really close to 10 Mile Lake. There's one single campsite at this boat landing. This is a beautiful spot. I don't think there's anybody around. I didn't even see houses on this lake. I have to tell you though, I've been keeping a secret from you. Some of you know that Mandy and I have been going to the shelter for the last couple of months now, and I really didn't expect to find a new camping partner, but I got to introduce you guys to my new best friend, Toby. We don't know the backstory on Toby. They don't know who his parents are. I've had him for a couple of weeks now, and we're getting to know each other really well. So he's definitely going to be coming with on these adventures with us. This morning, it's a little bit chilly, windy out there. I got to show you guys this campsite though. This is one of the better ones I found this winter, that's for sure. Ready to go outside? So Toby is about 15 months old right now, and he's catching on to everything really, really well. He's had a couple accidents in the house, but that was only the first few days. He's a really, really smart boy. Toby loves his little jacket. He thinks he's such a stud. We've been going out on a lot of walks, and I think that's kind of the key with the whole potty training. One thing's for sure, Toby's a pretty chill puppy, and his speed matches mine, which is perfect. It'll be cool to find out what he's a mix of. You'll have to let me know down in the comments what you think he is. I think he's a cross between a meatball and a tater tot. Good job. Good job. I'm gonna get Toby unbundled and then I'll probably go outside for a little walk myself. Toby had breakfast this morning, goes for a walk, then usually takes a nap. It is slippery. The Chippewa National Forest is 1.6 million acres. Combine that with the tax forfeited lands, probably got close to 2 million acres to wander around up here. This lake has a bunch of islands. There's one right there, and a little one right there. And I was thinking that maybe this summer I could kayak out to one of these islands, set up a hammock, stay overnight. How awesome would that be? Every once in a while I'll hear the ice crack underneath me, but it's got to be like a foot thick, so no worries. Check it out, there's a wood duck house on this island. Let's go see if there's anything else. That ice is slippery. I'm gonna fall down yet. Oh, look at this. What is that? The ground is kind of frozen. No deposit. No return. That's pretty cool. We'll take that back to the camper. I don't see any good camping on this island, just a bunch of brush. Let's check out island number 2. It looks like a bird's nest. Must have came off the island. Very cool. It's awesome being able to explore these islands just by walking out to them. During the summertime, it would take a lot of work, canoeing or paddling from one island to the next. Definitely one of the pros, winter camping, you can just walk out on the lake. Oh, I can already see it. There's a picnic table and a campfire. Mint. It is so awesome having something like this here. I mean, look at this fire pit. It's beautiful. How perfect would it be coming out here for like 3 days? You could go out, get fish, have shore lunch out here. I think I just found heaven. Come out here to gather a few sticks for the fire. The beavers have really done a number to these trees. I brought Toby out here for about 10 minutes and he was ready to go back inside the camper. Good news is he likes it in there. It'll probably be 15-20 minutes before he starts barking. And then he'll want to come outside for about 5 minutes and then go back inside again. It's hard to remember the last time we had such blue skies. I'll just get an arms full of branches and then go back up to the campsite. The Weather Channel says the wind's supposed to be calming down, and that'll be nice. There's the beaver den. Guys got to be careful though. Check out all these sharp branches. I've seen old war movies that look like this. I think I got enough. See if we can't get a fire going. Cool thing about this campsite, there's a little swimming platform. It doesn't have a picnic table, but it's got a swimming platform. Well, we can start making kindling. I think that'll do. People left some pretty big wood in here. So hopefully this gets good and hot and we can burn this down. Looks like it's gonna go just fine. The sunset was really pretty tonight. The lake is making a bunch of noise. Let's see if you guys can hear it. So in those videos where you hear me say that the lake's been making noise all night long, that's what I'm talking about. And for people down south that have never driven a truck or car out on the ice, it's really not that bad. This winter's been pretty warm though. But if it gets cold enough, I'd even be able to drive the truck camper out here. Hey buddy, sleeping? For supper tonight, I got this old baguette roll. And we got to figure out something to do with it. Take a look at the stove, you figure out what we're gonna do. One of my favorite things to make is bruschetta, and I use these French baguette rolls. They're like a crusty bread, and they only last for a couple of days. Mandy showed me a recipe where you can make some really good French toast using these, or even old dried up croissants. Let me show you how I do it. First up, I'm gonna get 5 eggs into a bowl. Next up, 1/4 cup of half and half. Two tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're going to finish it off with 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And now we mix it all together. And when we cut our bread, we're going to make it at an angle. It just makes the pieces a little bit bigger, and we'll toss them in. We're going to sit in there for a couple of minutes, let it soak up that cream. And there's what it's going to look like. And we'll get this guy going. In goes 3 tablespoons of butter. You can tell the camper is not level. All my butter is going to that side. That'll be all right. We'll get them all in the pan. Now we can put a lid on it. We're gonna let them go a couple of minutes per side. I'll be rotating them. I'll show you when we're done. Another check on Toby. How's it going, buddy? All right. Perfect. That is exactly what we're looking for. Well, let's get them plated up. If you try making this at home, I'll give you a little tip. The older and crunchier the bread, the better the French toast. How's it going? Yeah. Toby's first experience with the campfire. It's about 20 degrees out here right now. Not too bad. Well, I'm gonna go put Toby to bed. I'll let this fire burn down a little bit. Wow, that ice is cracking. We'll see you in the morning. struggles with the truck continue. Let me show you what I got going on. On a video a few weeks back, I had to replace this guy right here. It was leaking a little bit of antifreeze. So I was continually adding antifreeze into the reservoir. Even after we replaced this guy, I still had to add antifreeze into the reservoir. Saturday morning, I was going to try and get an early start on the video. I wanted to check the antifreeze level and see how it was doing. It was down a little bit. But I thought, I'm going to check one more thing. My coolant hose. And this guy right here was as hard as a rock. And when I opened up the cap on the coolant jug, it was full of pressure. There's absolutely no reason why there should be pressure in the cooling system after sitting for 5 days. I'm thinking head gaskets. But then I noticed something. The surge tank was full on both sides. This side is the pressurized side, and that should be full. This side is just a surge tank, like an overfill, and this should be a quarter to a half full. They were both full, which leads me to think that my cap was the culprit the whole time. Well, let's hope so. Worst case scenario, it's the head gaskets. Best case scenario, it's just that cap. I don't know. If you have any input, definitely let me know. The turbo, yeah, we still have issues there too. It's still giving me a code relating to the vanes. The only good news is usually that takes 6 months before it finally goes out. So there's good news, bad news with the whole situation. And the bad news is a head job with studs and a new turbo. I mean, could be looking at 10 grand. The good news is I'd have a new turbo and head studs and new gaskets. I guess when you look at it, like, the truck is over 10 years old, 200,000 miles on it. I can't go out and replace this truck for 10 grand, so I'll just have to refinance the truck. Always something. But when I think of all the places that the truck and camper have brought me to, 10 grand, yeah, it's worth it. So it's 16 degrees out right now. Toby and I are going to probably go back into the camper for a little while this morning, because later on this afternoon, I mean, we're talking like 35 degrees. That's going to be gorgeous. I was cleaning up this bottle a little bit this morning. I can't find any names on it. It says no deposits, no returns, not to be refilled, 32 fluid ounces. On the bottom, it just says GK 1645 7 register mark, and then 69 after that. So I don't know if the bottle's from 1969, but it's a really cool little bottle. If you collect bottles and you want to have a bottle that was found on an island, Minnesota, on a remote lake up north, let me know. I can send it out to you. You can put it on your shelf. Very cool. What do you think, Toby? Is that cool? You've got to be the world's chillest puppy. In a little bit here, I'll take Toby on a walk. It's getting nice out. 30 degrees already. We started off at 16 this morning. This week, though, we're talking temperatures in the mid-40s. I would love to have an opportunity to go camping during the middle of the week. I'd be able to get on my bike. Oh, that would be mint. Yeah. We're going to have to come back here this summer, though. This spot is awesome. You'll have to let me know if camping on one of those islands is something that you'd like to see. I'm going to put Toby's harness on here. This makes it a little bit easier to go on walks. He does not mind having the jacket or this little harness on either, which is really nice. We usually keep the sweater on him. Take it off at night, of course. Oh, you're just so handsome. Yes, you are. Looks like I might have to adjust this again. You're growing, Toby. Look at you. Perfect. All right, you ready to go for a walk? All right. Toby kind of looks like a turtle with his jacket on. Having a puppy with me is going to be a learning experience for me as well. Not that I haven't had puppies before, but recording videos with the puppy, it's a lot different. I can tell already Toby's confused with me bringing the camera, putting it down, going back to it, going back to it. Toby, you're such a good boy. This right here, this is what I'm talking about constantly. Getting to this campsite Saturday was a little bit tricky. From the main forest road, Google said I had 4.9 miles to go down a trail. When I turned onto it, it said it was a minimum maintenance road. After about 3 miles, my nerves were fried. I was driving over frozen riverbeds. I couldn't find any place to turn around. I finally came to a lake that had another little canoe hand launch, and I was like, great, perfect. We're gonna call this home. I got on the Onyx maps, and that's when I realized that Google had sent me on a wild goose chase, and I was only about a quarter mile away from an actual forest road, and the trail leading into this camp is only maybe a quarter mile long. I am really, really glad when I leave here today that I don't gotta go all that way back home. Yeah, you're gonna be sleeping the whole ride home. Almost got this off. And then you can go take a nap. All right. Well, I'm glad that I didn't stop driving down that road because it led me to an absolutely beautiful campsite. Never been here before, but I'll definitely be back. You've been hanging out with me and Toby all weekend long. I think that's just about long enough. Well, it was nice having a 3-day weekend, but I got to get back home because Mandy's car needs some work done on it. Back to work tomorrow. We'll do this again next Tuesday. Until then, be kind, be honest. We'll see you down the road.